So let us begin with the session. Welcome to the day 6 session of Selenium with Python. Today we are going to have an introduction to Selenium. We are going to discuss about the Selenium components and talk about Selenium IDE. So let us have an overview of testing. Testing basically refers to a set of activities to find out whether the expected is matching the actual. Any deviation found in the above process is known as a bug, which is then provided to the developer for fixing it, and it follows its own bug life cycle. In the process of testing, we often come across the term regression testing, which basically ensures that what was previously developed software still performs the same way after changes happen to it due to bug fixing or new feature introduction. The regression test scenarios, as they are repetitive in nature, are ideal test scenarios for automation. They are ideal test candidates for automation. So, software test automation refers to the activities and effort that intend to automate engineering task and operation in a software test process using well-defined strategies and systematic solution. The objective of software test automation is to decrease the cost, to decrease the time to delivery, effective utilization of resources, and reduction in the redundancy of the task. So that is the benefits which we are able to achieve with the software test automation activity. So what are the requirements for test automation? We should have a dedicated workforce. We should have a dedicated budget and schedule. There has to be a well-defined plan and strategy available. There has to be availability of trained human resources, a buy-in from the senior management, and there has to be effective tools for creation and maintenance of these scripts. There are some commercial tools available out there in the market and some open source tools. So you have got UFT from HP, Test Complete from SmartBear, RFT from IBM, Borland Silk. Similarly, you have got open source solutions like Water, Selenium, Sahi, and SoapUI for web services. Out of these tools, Selenium is one of the most popular open source tool. We will shortly see the reason why. And what does the open source tools bring to the table? They are low cost. There is absolutely zero license cost associated with open source solutions. They are highly customizable. You get a faster time to market. There is an ease of procurement and a sense of contributing back to the community. These are the links of some open source tools. Out of them, the link which we are interested in is seleniumhq.org. I request all of you to please open this link and visit it and have a look at its different tabs. So, projects, download, documentation, support, and about. In projects, you will find out the four projects which are under Selenium. Download provides you all the details of the different softwares which you can download while working on Selenium. Documentation is help in Selenium. Support talks about some commercial support and some user group chat room support. About talks about news, Selenium events, etc. Have a look at this website and make yourself comfortable in it, please. Let me know once you guys are done looking at the website. Done looking at the website? Okay. So Selenium was invented by Jason R. Huggin and team in the year 2004 while working with the organization ThoughtWorks. It was originally named as JavaScript Functional Tester. It was based upon JavaScript and HTML and was designed to make test writing easy. It was cross-browser, which was it supported Firefox, Safari, Chrome, IE, and this was how the interface looked like. It was supposed to test the new time and expense system created at ThoughtWorks. So why the name Selenium? Earlier than Selenium, the tool UFT, which was earlier known as QTP when owned by Mercury Corporations, was pretty much in demand and famous. So to overcome mercury poisoning, you basically use selenium. That's why the name Selenium. Okay, so to overcome the shortcomings of the tool QTP from the mercury organization, the Selenium tool was created. So that's how the name Selenium was given. So what is Selenium? It is a suite of tools to automate web browsers across many platforms. It runs on different browsers and operating system, and it allows execution of the scripts using different programming languages and testing frameworks. So, Selenium basically supports multiple browsers, multiple operating systems using multiple programming languages. That is one of the main reasons Selenium is a very, very popular open source test automation solution. Is this clear to you guys? Why the name Selenium and why Selenium is extremely popular? So Selenium as a tool, being open source, supports execution on multiple operating systems on multiple browsers using a varied set of programming languages. You can write your Selenium test cases in Java, in Python, in C Sharp, in Ruby, in Perl. So that is something which is not even there in lot of other commercial tools out there. Do you all understand why the name Selenium and the rich feature set of Selenium which makes Selenium powerful and popular? There is a questions main window, Karthik, Puneet, Renuka, which you guys can use to communicate with me. Okay. So Selenium is basically not one tool, rather it is a culmination or a group of four tools. We have got Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid. Now we are going to have a basic understanding of what these four components are supposed to do. So Selenium IDE basically is a Firefox add-in. Okay, it's a Firefox add-on. It only works with the Firefox browser and it is used for recording and playing back of scripts in Selenium. Okay, so you can quickly record and play back the scripts using Selenium IDE but only for the Firefox browser. Then you have got Selenium RC. It is also known as Selenium 1.0. It was the earlier version of Selenium which was released. It works in the client server architecture and also known as, works in the client server architecture and it supports execution on all browsers. You can perform end-to-end test automation with RC. Then you have got Selenium WebDriver. So when Selenium integrated with the WebDriver technology, so the WebDriver technology doesn't uses the client server architecture. It says that every browser has got its own inherent ability to drive itself. So every browser has got their own WebDriver API to help us automate the browser. So this concept is called as the concept of WebDriver, which then got integrated with Selenium and it was known as Selenium 2.0, which got released and we work with it. Now the version of Selenium which is released is Selenium 3.0, which we are all going to learn. Then you have got Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid basically uses Selenium RC component in a grid-like environment, which allows then us to execute our tests in parallel. So IDE works only with Firefox browser and it is only for recording and playing back. Grid is for parallel testing, uses Selenium RC. RC and WebDriver are full-fledged test automation solutions. We don't use RC anymore for executions, rather we use WebDriver and it supports all browsers execution using all programming languages and supports end-to-end test automation. Is this clear? The four components of Selenium. Any questions? Selenium IDE latest version has started supporting Chrome, but it is currently in the experimental mode, Karthik. So we will only stick with the Firefox version. The earlier version of Selenium IDE used to only work with the Firefox browser. So IDE, RC, WebDriver and Grid. There is another way to distinguish between the way RC communicates and the way WebDriver communicates with the browser. The RC communication is known as a three-way handshake. So basically, the client is sending requests to a proxy server. The proxy server is then driving the browser depending upon the request received from the client. Whereas the web driver is a direct handshake, the client is directly or the script is directly automating the browser by sending commands through the WebDriver API. Okay, that's how that's one major difference between RC and WebDriver, the way they communicate with the browser and automate the browser. And thus WebDriver, since being a direct browser invocation, provides better support and better control and better flexibility to work with it and speed. So we are going to have a look at the Selenium IDE now. Before we have a look at the Selenium IDE, let's all have a look at our live web application which we are going to use throughout our course structure. So this is our application URL, 5 elements learning slash demo site. All of you please open this URL. I'm going to show you some feature set of this application. So when you click on the My Account link, you are basically able to come to this page where you are supposed to, all of you are supposed to register yourself as a new customer. So click on this continue button and create your ID. Fill in all the mandatory details. You need not provide a working email address. Okay. Please do not provide your original email address and need not provide a working email address. Rather provide any dummy email address, but then remember it. So provide that email address once you have registered yourself as a user. Using the email address you have created your user credential login. Once you are logged into the system, you can basically view your account information, change anything which you don't like. You can change your password. You can search for a product. If the product is available, click on buy now to purchase the product. Checkout, continue. Say you want to provide cash on delivery, continue, confirm order, and you get your message your order has been processed. You can verify the same by going to your My Account link, viewing the orders you have made. It will show you on this date you have created an order to be shipped to you. Okay. Then you can also search products by their categories and then visit their links. Click on a product which you like and then you can go ahead and purchase that also. So different ways to buy a product. So these are so many scenarios available in here. Then you can click on the log off link and the continue button to come back to the main page. I request all of you to please create a user on this website and explore this application of the different flows which I have discussed. So the different flows we have seen in here are register user, login, logout, change, account information, change password, search product, buy product, view orders, etc. etc. So go ahead, create a user and explore this application. So all of you are done looking at the website creating users. Okay, great. So now let's just follow some steps to get the Selenium ID on our system. The first step is that you all should have the latest version of the Firefox browser on your systems. Open that. In here, you basically have to go to this page, which will show you the add-on Selenium ID. I'm sharing the URL. Open Firefox and open this page. Then click on Add to Firefox. So there is a button. Click on Add to Firefox. Click on then the add, and it will tell you that Selenium ID is associated with your Firefox browser. All of you perform this. You should all be then able to see this ID link here, the icon here. Click on this icon to launch Selenium IDE. Please perform these steps. You have to open the Firefox browser. Once you are there in the Firefox browser, open this URL which is shared. Click on this button Add to Firefox. Click on this add icon. That's all you have to do. All of you added the Fire IDE to the Firefox browser. Okay. Now what we have to do is we are going to record the login logout scenario. But to record the login logout scenario, we should first have the steps available with us. So what are the steps? Open the application. Click on the My Account link. Type username. Type password. Click on sign in button. Click log off link, click continue button, okay, or continue link. So these are our steps for the login logout scenario. Now please pay attention to my screen. Open the Firefox browser and open the website URL. Once you are here, launch IDE. When you launch IDE, click on this record button to start the recording. Then start your actions. Click on My Account link. Provide in the email address using which you have registered. Click on the Sign In button. Click on the Log Off link and click on the Continue link. All the steps which you have recorded are going to be captured. Stop the execution. Stop the recording. These are the steps captured. Remove the steps which are not required. So we require click at this, type, click at ID TDB5, click at CSS is equal to hash TDB4 and click at CSS is equal to hash TDB4. These are the steps we require. Then you click on the play icon to run current test. You all will be able to see that your execution is being done by the playback mode of Selenium IDE successfully. You click on the log to see the logs generated, if they are generated. So these are the logs which are generated for the execution. Total run 1 which was passed because failure is 0. All of you please perform these steps. Open the Firefox browser, open the URL, launch IDE, click on the record button, capture the steps, remove the extra steps which are captured. Your script should look like this after cleanup. Then click on the play icon to run the current test. done recording it and playing it back? Any questions? We basically, why did we remove some commands? Because Selenium is capturing every mouse action, which we do not want. We want only the main actions to be available there. Unnecessary steps which are captured, we can remove. That's why we remove them, Monica. No, you should not click on save password option. Rather, if you come across the save password option, you should say never save. Do not by default save the passwords because your browser is prompting you to. You should not do that in automation. Okay. Any other question? Okay, so this our script is created. Now press on now basically do this. Rename this test case to log in log out. You will have when you highlight this, you will get these three dots. Click on here, click on rename. The untitled project, give it some title, and then click on this save project icon to save this project at a particular location on your system. Okay, so your project would be saved. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to have an understanding of these commands and options which we are seeing in here. Some of these things we will talk about tomorrow, some about today. So these are the commands in Selenium IDE. These are the objects on which these commands are supposed to act. The way these objects are captured depends upon the locator information associated with that object. What is locator? How do we read this ID, name, CSS? We will talk about tomorrow. Value is basically the data which is required to be passed to these commands. So that's how this test case scenario looks like to us. Now we are going to talk about the concept of adding verifications or validation commands to our Selenium IDE script. So validation basically means, depending upon whether we have got a object based validation or a text based validation, we will have some different commands available to us. So if we have to write the same login logout script, but this time with validation, how would it look like? Open application, click my account, type username, type password, click sign in button, verify my account information, text on screen, or you can verify log off link on screen. Click log off link, click continue, verify welcome on screen. So these are our object or text validations which we have available for this script. So how are we going to record the scenario and add these? We will see. So open the Firefox browser with the application URL start IDE. Click on the record mode. Click on my account link. Type in the email address, password. Click on the sign in button. Now we have to add our validation command. To add the validation command, this is the step which we are going to follow. We are going to click here on the next command and type the command here. The command I am typing is verify text. Then I am going to select the target where I want to verify text. For that I am going to select the target. It is this target. Copy the contents of this text box, this heading, sorry, and put it in the value field. So we have our value in the verify text field. So this command is added. Then come to next. Another thing which we can add is verify element present. The element to be present is, we click on select target in page, select the log off link. So two types of validations are added. Then you click on the log off link, click on the continue button, and now we want to verify welcome to 5 elements learning. So we come here, again type a message verify text, select the target, copy the content of the target, print it in here, stop the recording, and our test is ready. Now again removing the steps which are captured and we do not need, like clicking on the text box, we do not need. We do not require clicking on the header tag. We just want to verify text on the header tag. Then we want to verify the element present, that is the log off link. Then we want to click on the log off link and the continue button, and we want to verify the text on the header tag, that is 5 elements learning. So let's click on the play icon to run the current test. This test, besides executing the test, would also run the validation commands to show that the steps which we are executing are also getting validated. Okay. So this is how your script should look like. Are you all clear about how we added the validations? During the recording, we added these validations, right? Validation for text, validation for object. Are you all clear? The opening of the save test case throws error Monica in this version. So like I guys told you, this is an experimental version of Selenium IDE. You might be facing problems in opening and saving projects. So for the time being, we are going to focus on the concepts. So the concept now learned is how we can add validation commands and what are the type of validation commands like verify command. So go ahead and create this login logout test case, but this time when you record, also record the steps for validation. Just click on this link, like just click on the next empty available row and add the step. Like you added verify text, then click on the next available empty row and add the step in that manner. You do not have to add verify element. I am just providing you with both the options, that if you have to perform an object based validation, how you can do it. If you have to perform a text based validation, how can you do it. Done? Great, Puneet. What about you guys? Karthik, done? Great, Monica. Karthik, Renuka. Let me know when you guys are done. Done? Great, Karthik. So in Selenium, basically, we have got these commands which belong to the following category: action command, which change the state of the application; assertion commands, which are supposed to validate the change state; and accessor command, which allows us to store the state of the application. So it allows us to create variables, etc. So these three types of commands. The commands which we have just generated, verify text, can also be changed to assert text, assert element present. Due to this experimental version, you will not see the change, but there is a difference between verify set of commands and assert set of commands. Both are supposed to validate, but the difference is if verification command fails, it will still allow the execution to continue to the next step. If assert command fails, it will halt the execution and won't allow any further steps to execute. So these are the main difference between verify and assert. Since this is an experimental version, even if I deliberately try to fail this assert text, it might move forward. Let us try this. Let us give it a bad text. So once it encounters the bad text, this particular command would fail. So like I said, since this is an experimental version, it has this bug. Even if the assert command fails, it is allowing the next step to execute. Whereas in assert commands, if this fails, the execution for the next set of commands are halted. But this is the behavior of verify text, that if verify text fails, then it will still allow execution to continue. And you can see the reason for failure in the logs. Failed, actual value my account information did not match my account IN. Okay, so that's why it failed. So in the logs you can see the output. Is this clear? The three type of command categories, difference between verify and assert. Okay, now we'll take few assignment problems, but before the assignment I'm going to give you guys a practice question to do it right now. Record and play back the register user scenario. Before you try this out, please type in the steps like we have done for login logout. You need not add any validations. Just record and play back the register user scenario. Tell me what you observe. I want to know your observations. Please start it. For the date of birth field, just use the type command. It has basically an ID property DOB. When you might be working, it is going to capture some extra steps. Remove those steps because you get a calendar option. So remove those steps. For the date of birth field, just use the command. Just say type where ID is equal to DOB and provide it in the format it has given, like this: month, date, and year. Try this, it should work. Remove any other command which is getting generated. Yes, you are right, Karthik. Good observation. Good work. Good, Puneet. So basically, you guys will observe that this scenario, you don't have to even automate it, but nevertheless, this is the application behavior. If you want to record and playback register user, you can only be able to play back the registration user scenario when you change the email ID, because the earlier user is already registered. So registration happens with email ID. So the idea is to tell you guys that when we are trying to automate an application, it is important to understand the behavior of the application, because not necessary every time our script fails, the fault lies with the script. Sometimes it is the behavior of the application which we should have a complete understanding of. Okay. Now there are four links which I am going to give you guys for reading. That's the only thing you guys I'm requesting you to do. If time permits, at least do it before tomorrow class. Just breeze through it. We are going to talk about some web technologies: HTML, then XML, CSS, and DOM. XML, XPath, CSS, and Document Object Model. So these are five links which I want you guys to have a look at. So basically tomorrow when we meet, we are going to talk about something called as locator strategies, which is one of the very important concept in Selenium. And to understand locator strategies, we have to understand these web technologies: HTML, XML, XPath, CSS, and DOM. So when we meet tomorrow, in the first few minutes of the class, we are going to have a discussion on these web technologies, and then we are going to start our discussion on the locator concept. Also understand the locator concept is going to get repeated again when we come to the concept of using Selenium with the WebDriver. Any questions for today? Anything which was not clear? Okay, great. Good. And I have received the assignments which are sent by you guys. I must admit, great work. I hope you guys are feeling confident about programming with Python. Okay, good to know that. So the reading links are available in this notes, okay? I am not sending any separate file, it is available with the notes. I'll see you guys tomorrow then. Thank you so much for your time today. Take care. Have a good evening. Bye everyone.